Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to Created for More, the podcast. Super exciting. In fact, exceptionally giddy to have you here with me because I have my hearts literally in the studio with me. I have incredible women of power, incredible women that I now call my sisters that have been on a journey. Yes, a journey with me for about 12 weeks, and they will tell you all about it. So before I start to introduce them one after the other, let me just kind of give some background information. Guys, I have been talking about, this transformational program that I have for women. That's it. My heart, my heart, literally, if you were to cut my heart open, literally, you would see in there my love for women, just women, and helping women in particular enter into the next level of themselves. That is the call upon my life, and that is why I move, live, breathe, do everything that I do to ensure that women, they change the paradigms through which they see themselves. I want them to be empowered. And you who are listening to me, I am speaking to you. I want you to be empowered. I want you to see yourself, with the power that really truly rests on the inside of you. And I want you to wield it. I want you to wield it so that this world will be a better place because of you. There is a gaping hole when you do not step up, step out, and fulfill your place and your role and your calling here on earth. And my job, my work, my passion, my mandate, my mission is to help you become all that you can be. So I've had this program, a transformational program that I mentioned. I've been burning in my heart since the end of 2020. And I have been putting it together, and I've been thinking, what is the best way? Because I realized that, a lot of the things out there, a lot of the programs, a lot of the methodologies and curriculums, I felt that, they will have, parts of it that will be really, really good in particular aspects. But I felt that there was something missing in the sense that there wasn't this sort of holistic, systematic approach to elevating and uplifting women. So I set out. I got this commission in my heart, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I set out and I created this curriculum, and it's called the Voyage to Growth Accountability Program. And I have just had the first cohort, and they are just finishing, and we are excited to be sharing with you what life on the inside has been like for the last 12 weeks. So I'm going to be introducing you to these fantastic ladies. Honestly, I'll be tagging their handles, their social media handles, and everything. You want to just check them out. They are real people, real stories. These aren't scripted. I haven't paid anybody to say anything. Literally, they're just going to be speaking for the heart. Who knows what they'll say? I hope they say good things. So, but but these are real people, real stories, and you are going to be hearing from them yourself. So I'm just going to go in order. I'll start by inviting you, Oyinua, come up and introduce yourself. It is
Hello, everybody. Oh
amazing.
my God. Am I really on the Created for More? Finally. No,
It
for
is
real though. My name is
epic to have you.
Oyinua Banigo. I'm
Mhm.
a mom of two beautiful angels. I am a wife. I am professionally a trained information technology consultant. Currently working, heading up the digital arm of a digital agency slash real estate company. It's complicated,
Mhm.
I know. But long story short, I have, had a breadth of experience across various industries applying technology solutions to real problems. So in a nutshell, I guess that's, my intro.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Obviously, we're going to go into, how you got to where you are generally in terms of the experience that you've had on VGAP. But I'm just going to take everybody first and let's just do intros. Hey, Amina, it's lovely to have you here. Do you want to just introduce yourself so that we know who you are?
I'm Amina Ismail. I am a mom to 4 amazing boys. I am a cake artist. I am a public health practitioner, and also, most recently, I'm a podcaster. Started thanks to Big Up. I just started podcasting and trying to put moms through, helping to raise their sons. Having 4 boys myself, it's been an amazing experience, and I see a lot of moms struggling out there, and I just want to help them. So yes, I'm super happy to be here. Thank you for having me, Coach.
You are welcome.
You.
Well, welcome. Ruth, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here. My name is Ruth Annie. I'm a mom and I am an affiliate marketing consultant. I do digital products, and I came into VGAP to learn and find myself, and I have been doing that. It's been a wonderful experience ever since. I'm glad to be here too.
Oh,
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ruth. Temitope.
Yay! Hello, everyone. I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Coach T. It's really been amazing. Okay, who am I? A lot of things. But I'm a mom to 2 amazing girls, one fresh one.
And one is a VGAP baby, guys. Fun fact, she was born during VGAP.
And it's really been a super amazing journey. I'm also a podcaster, and thanks to Coach T here. And also, I'm a public health pharmacist. I'm so many things, but my goal is just to ensure that every woman out there, every mother, is able to cross through various barriers and limitations of their life.
I love it. I love it. Ooh, thank you so much. Millicent, go for it, girl.
I can't believe I'm here. I hope my sound.
Yes, it is.
Is my
go
sound
for it.
okay?
Yes,
right.
it is.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Really, I'm super excited. I found my tribe, and VGAP is my tribe. So everyone there is part of my tribe. My name is Millicent Ugoalozie. I'm from Jos. I'm married to an Igbo man from Imo State. I am a mom. I'm a wife. Actually, I'm a pastor's wife. I am also a relationship coach. And now I'm a podcaster.
The way all of you are just saying this podcaster, people will think VGAP is a podcast program.
It's
a podcaster's factory.
Being a podcaster is just a plus to the many things I've gotten here. Really, VGAP, really, like I said, is a lifeline for me. It's a culture for me. It has shaped my lifestyle. I was discussing with somebody today, and I told her, I said, if you join it and you still remain the same as you are, please hold me responsible. I'll refund your money back to you, as in with my full chest, because I've gotten a lot. So,
wow, I love that. Oh, thank you so much, Millicent. Okay, I've got the fresh-faced Uday here. Hi, girl.
Hello ma, everybody, hello. Good evening from this side of the world. So I am Emmanuella Ude, and I'm a student. I'm still a student. Yeah. And VGAP has been...
You're introducing yourself first before you go into VGAP, but introduce yourself. Look at these girls are just ready to. That's VGAP. That's all they want to talk about. VGAP, VGAP, VGAP.
So, VGAP has done everything. Even my students shift every single thing. Like, I see myself in a totally different way. So that's why I'm so ready to talk about VGAP anytime, any day. But I am a student. I am a podcaster now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am in podcaster since I joined VGAP. A to-be author. Yeah. So
I love it. I love
that's
it. Okay, guys, let's start at the very beginning because when people don't understand, they will just think, "What's going on here?" Like you people are just talking, and I don't get it. So let's break this down. First of all, you attended a webinar which was called a Life Reset webinar. It was also advertised on the podcast, and you attended it. So my first thing is, let's start from there. What was the experience of that webinar for you, and why did you feel like, oh my gosh, I have got to do the next thing? This is not enough for me to just be at this webinar. I have to do the next thing. I want to take Amina first.
Hey, coach. So, I don't know, coincidentally, a couple of days ago, I was, I just stumbled on my notes that I took at the webinar. I basically couldn't stop taking notes. I was like, how can this be free? Number one, this is a program on its own because it was so in-depth. It was like taking you to the root of who you are. You know, when she started talking about like a blueprint for yourself, you going to at the end of, and I hadn't even started the program. I didn't even know what the program was about. I just sat down in class with, okay, let me just hear what she's saying. And it just made me, I just got drawn because there were so many important things that were mentioned, the mistakes we make. And then Koti is providing solutions in that same night. And you're seeing how those things could actually, those are the things you struggle with. And those are the things that you need to fill in those gaps to be, where you yourself, because what drew me to it is because I knew this isn't where I wanted to be. I knew I could be more. I knew I wanted more from myself. And she's telling me, I know how people just hint at things. She didn't just hint. She actually goes, it's like a very a thirsty, I don't know, animal or something, and really thirsty, but you, out of goodness, you're giving it a cup. And you actually did that out of goodness, but that animal is like, oh my god, this cup is too good to be true, and I want more. I don't know, this is so unscripted, but this is straight from my heart. Like this was what the masterclass did. And I ran looking for her after the masterclass.
She ran. She was like, please, I really want to. I want to take Millicent. Millicent was the very first person that booked a call after the masterclass. So when I did the masterclass, it was a free masterclass, and I said, look, book a free call with me if you want to hear more, you want to know more, blah blah blah. The very first call was Millicent Ugo Alozie, and I was like, she booked it while we were still on the masterclass. Like literally, it had not finished and she had booked. So I want to hear from you. Like, what was the thing that pushed you to not even finish listening to the masterclass and start booking?
Okay, there's this kind of experience where maybe you've been testing bitter things all the while. Everything is bitter. Then all of a sudden, somebody introduced you to sweet honey. Then you know that honey at some point, because you are so used to that bitter taste, so you feel, what if that honey is taken away from me? Am I returning back to that bitter taste again? So while you were talking in that Life Reset Masterclass, I was already checking the time, because most of the Zoom calls is just 45 minutes. That's the free ones, and it's ended. So I was checking to see, will she end by 45 minutes? So already I started panicking already. Then you talked about the call, and then I think it was Barlade or what dropped the link immediately. As I was listening to you, I was booking the call already, because while you were talking in that Live Reset, masterclass, it's as if you were speaking to my soul. You know, when you are thirsty for something, you are yearning. I knew I needed something, but no one was communicating to me. No one was no one was communicating as I wanted it. So when you started talking, sometimes at the point I'll have to clean my eyes. Is it real? I look for somewhere I hide myself. Let me listen to this, because it was directly communicating to my soul. That's why I never wanted the call to end. And because I had the opportunity to book a call, I said, this honey test must not be passed. I must get it. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love
it's just
it.
a thirst. It's a thirst
I
and
love
a
it.
hunger.
I love it. Oh, I want to come to you now. Like, what did you hear that you couldn't unhear at that Life Reset Masterclass? Like, what was it for you? Because you shocked me as well. It's like, I was just still like processing. And next thing, is like, and I'm like, like there was speed. Like, literally, there was speed. There wasn't conversation. Like, okay, let's still be talking and let's see. And is this maybe, what did you hear that made you so certain that this is it?
For me, it was a struggle. I'm not going to lie. I struggled. I wrestled with that decision because I was in the middle of a major move, a major transition in my life. And physically, if you were to listen to all the reason and rationalization, I couldn't physically see how I could partake. But you see, first of all, starting from the title, Life Reset.
Life Reset.
I felt like this chance to move to a new place, start my life on new terms, was a chance of a lifetime. I had a similar chance some time back, but I don't feel like I utilized it to the maximum. So for me, this one is not getting me by. So I don't care if it doesn't look feasible. I have to make the most
out of the
absolute most out of this opportunity. And when you've lived for so long, knowing that I can be doing more, I'm seeing my peers, I can see what's skills, potentials, interests.
Yes.
And I can see that I am multi-talented. But there were so many aspects, coach. There were so many aspects, but it was, for me, the entire concept of being able to just hit that reset button and take charge. That was it.
That was it for you. I love it.
That was it for
love
me.
it.
And I wasn't going to go back. So I said to myself, you know what? We've been here. We have to make it.
We have to.
There's no other way,
Yeah.
So that was it for me, really, coach. That was it for me.
I love it. I love it. So listen, guys, I know I've talked about how all of you came in, but there was no one as surprising as Ruth. Ruth wasn't at the webinar, but Ruth was a part of another community that I had. So I sent her the link after the webinar just to watch. Ruth, just watch this and just let me know. Ruth please send me. How can I was like, wait, now Ruth, please, what did you hear? What did you hear in that webinar? That I couldn't. Honestly, even I'm still shook by your speed. What did you hear in the webinar? I didn't need to say anything about VGAP to her. Literally, she just heard in the webinar and that she didn't need to book a call to talk. There was nothing. It's like, where is it? Where are we going with this? So Ruth, what did you hear?
But to be honest, I cannot remember exactly what I heard. But I know, talking about finding the blueprint, identity, that thing about reset, let me find myself, like know what it is I am about. That thing, anything about it, and I knew who it was coming from. I had been opportune to be in a couple of things you've done and heard you speak sometimes. So when I heard the details of, I can't pinpoint them now. When I heard the details of the things that are attainable in the program, when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is workable. So what can I do? I need to move. I was at a point where I was almost feeling like I was stuck. I just wanted to just get out of. Let me be moving. Let me move and let it be with someone. Like, I believe so much in coach and mentorship and coaching and mentorship. So if I see someone that is where I want to be and there's opportunity, take hold of it and move now. There's no time to waste, so that you will not be where you are and pepper will enter your eyes, all this kind of thing. You got to move. So that was why I love it. Take advantage of it.
Thank you. Temitope, you too. My sister, you shocked me. So please, guys, everybody has said, okay, talked about how, she was in the midst of things happening, people talked about, Temitope was 9 months pregnant. Please. If that's not busy, I don't know what is. 9 months pregnant, and she had a baby on VGAP, our VGAP baby. Temitope, what did you like? What? How did you think that this was important enough for you to do this? And why?
Okay, so I would say maybe 3 things. Number 1, the person, the value that you carry. I have participated or been involved in a couple of your programs already. And there is no time there that I don't come out transformed. So more is an understatement. It's more does not portray what happens afterwards. And I'm someone that the whole of 2021 I engaged in a lot of personal development programs. And by the time I saw the curriculum of VGAP, I was wondering where you downloaded it from. It was nowhere else than directly from God. There was no other explanation. And then the third thing for me was that it was actually time for a reset also for myself. And as you said, naturally, I'd already said, I'm pregnant, I just want to take a break. I closed up everything, like I'm not doing anything anymore and all. But then again, it was time for a reset. I was going to have a baby and I did not want cycles to repeat themselves. And the only way I could have done that is to do something that doesn't sound natural. Is to do something that I would naturally not do. So it was also a challenge for myself. So the combination of these 3 things, I said, I'm not going to miss out on this. I'm going to go for it. Thank you.
Amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ude, you again as well. You are one person that I there was just this hunger to know, hunger to learn, hunger to, when you came on to VGAP, do you feel, in fact, let's talk about where you were before we even talk about where you were generally. Where were you at the point where you embarked on the journey of VGAP after the webinar?
Okay. Let me start from the first time I met Coach Dumbra. And the ending of 2021 was terrible. Very my whole life was it was like my whole struggle for a lot of years were just in shambles. I was expelled from medical school because of some kinds of, and it was we're already halfway into we're halfway to graduating. And that was when I met Coach T, when all these things had happened. I met her during the Created for More Summit, and I was like, how did I, like, how have I been missing this? This woman has been here all this while. So what happened? Like, why am I just meeting her now? But I just said, anyways, it's not for me to start reminiscing on everything that happened. So now let me just keep moving with her, keep going with her. And then I connected with her. I made sure I sent her a message about how the summit had changed my life and everything. And I now got to know about the Life Reset Masterclass. The Life Reset Masterclass was my point of change. That was the point I knew that, wow, this is different. Because after what happened at the end of 2021, I saw it as a time of, okay, you have to look out for other things. Find out, instead of staying in a pity party state and things like that. Exactly. So I started looking for a lot of things. I decided to discover more about myself. And none of those were working until I got into the Life Reset Masterclass, and I discovered why none of those were working.
It shows you, doesn't it? Like at the Life Reset, you see why. Because that's one thing, feedback I always get, like, oh, so this is why. So even the masterclass alone gives value in terms of just even helping you see. Even if you don't go past that, at least you see.
Yes, you see. And then I knew that she had something. She had everything, not something. She had everything I needed at that point. And I knew that if I did not follow her, that point of my life would be very, very wasted. And I pushed on. Yeah.
I love it. So let's talk about VGAP, guys. Because how do you which words are we going to, in fact, Amina, let's start from you. Like, what has your VGAP experience been like? And I'm going to ask everybody this question. What has your VGAP experience been like? Talk about it from just everything, just the learning, just your experience in general.
So VGAP, the community, walking into, I have been in classes, I have been in settings where I'm really excited the first class, and then by the end of that first class, I know that I just want to take the back seat. I know that whatever I'm going to do, I'm just going to do it from behind. But I found that with VGAP and with how the community was so receptive, and I mean every single person, obviously Coach T being our, that brought us together, obviously we're feeding on, of that her spirit and everything, but how receptive the community was, how alike we all looked. With every class, I started kind of really, I can feel my shoulders really kind of like, okay, you can relax. Okay, you can relax. Okay, you can be yourself. It is safe to be yourself. So the safety, I just felt like me. And Millicent to always say, Amina, is this you? Is this the same you that came the first day? Is this the same? But really that was my experience. And that's how I am. It takes me a while for things. So basically the community, then it's just how personalized VGAP is. Like after the first class, it was intro. I was still like, okay, we're testing the waters. And then the second class came and she gave us a workbook. I was like, what is this? I don't understand. What is happening? Am I preparing for I don't know, some form of certification or one kind of high-tech exams? Because I practically had to leave everything I was in. I wake up in the night, and one night was not enough to attend to that workbook. And that was one workbook. And by morning, I finished, I took my walk. And while I was taking my walk, thank God it wasn't bright. God knows, I started bawling. I was crying. I was in tears because of where Coach T made me go. And not just where I went, where on my own I was able to go there and then not stay there feeling sad. I rewrote the story in that same period, and the story looked so beautiful. And I couldn't believe I was the one writing that same story in just one workbook in 1 week. So it's like magic. I don't know how else. It's like magic.
So we have had magic.
Yes. Because she's not there with you. She's not there, like, because I've been a couple of therapy sessions. I've helped friends to through, therapy sessions, and you see them lighting up during the process. But when it's all gone, and sometimes it's difficult. It takes a lot of work for you to be able to really get to where you are without your therapist. But this was a situation where she wasn't there with me. But those words just kept coming back because I needed to get to those words to be able to find the answers to rewrite my story. And in short, but that workbook is like, it's gold for me because yes, what I was able to come up with, I was like, okay, Amina, this is something, you're onto something. And that was what I've been looking for. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So Amina has shone the light on the workbooks. Oyinua, give us some insight from your perspective. Actually, I'm going to ask Ruth this question. Just what are the actual learning, the teaching, and just the way everything is put together? What has that experience been like for you from a VGAP perspective, the modules?
Okay, starting with anchors. When you talk about anchors, the topic made me have to go back in time. I learned a lot of things about the things that have been holding me back. As some of them were really ordinary. I didn't until I had to be like the workbook as she mentioned, until I went back. When you mentioned some things, you won't catch it until maybe you have to go back to answer some questions. That anchors aspect, I saw a lot of whys. For me, I found out a lot of whys, a lot of things that I didn't really think they were anything, really. But then looking back, I started understanding, why some things were happening. Then further into the class, when we're talking about, I can't remember the exact topic now, but when I was challenged, you mentioned about if you are starting something and you are a master at it already. If you're already a master at that thing, that means you've started late. I found out how I overanalyze, overthink things. And then the process of thinking and thinking, you end up not doing anything at the end of the day. I found out, those places I had to do, we did the personality test, the 5 strengths. Yes, when we do those things, I was able to find out some things about myself that ordinarily I wouldn't have really. I was taking it for granted. In fact, I was taking some things for granted. I saw them as normal things, and I didn't value. I came to value self more. I came to value myself more, and I came to appreciate the things that had made me cry, the hurts I've experienced, all those words we had to say, those agreements. Brought a lot of things out. Kept me. He helped me let go. I'll be honest. He helped me let go of certain things because I had some recent pain that I was carrying. Somebody hurt me so badly, and I am normally someone that will easily let go and let's just move on. But each time I think of it, it hurts me. I'm like, why? Why did this person do this? How could she have done it? But that agreement that says I let go. I moral exoneration, as in that particular. I think it was the agreement 8. That thing. I'm free. Yeah, I'm free. I just let. They did it. It's their business. That's not. It's not my business. It doesn't concern me why they did it. But I'm not going to tie myself down thinking about it again. I was freed in a lot of levels. Now I can happily look back at some things and I look at it with gratitude. That's one of the agreements too. I can look back, I let go until I can look back. Some of those things really made a lot of sense along. The thing is, it went deep. It went into the person deep, where you don't know that some things are. It really touched touched it. Now every class had its I know I didn't come out of any class the same. It was always an experience. It was always an experience.
I love it. I love it. Oh, talk to us a little bit just about the culture and the spirit. What was your own experience? Just around just the spirit of VGAP and the modules. What was your perspective? Was it what you thought it would be? Was it better? Was it worse?
Yeah, there's no one, you cannot anticipate this. Let me just tell you now up front. No matter what we say here, you have to experience it. And it will always beat what you're thinking or expecting. Flat. And that is because, like one of my sisters here mentioned, I think it was Uday, the content, it feels divinely inspired. You can't read this from any book. Trust me, we've read a lot of books, we've gone through a lot of courses. It's divinely assembled. You mentioned culture. One of the key things for me was the language. We have our own language. VGAPers have things they will say and only them will understand. Okay, so when I'm talking to you about the fact that, man, I spent the last 7 years in someone else's book, only my sisters here understand. I'm sure you don't know what that means. We have our own lingo. Another thing that unites us is our affirmations, our agreements. That is our code. And you know what? I've told Coach this. That code is literally like taking a pill when you have a migraine. For me, it has taken me out of, pity parties. It has knocked me out of dead ends. There was a day I was completely stuck at work, mentally blocked. 12 agreements. I wrote to Coach. I wrote something, and weeks later I sent it to Coach, and she couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Now I don't know whether the word is metaphor.
Yes, metaphor.
Yeah, but the metaphor, the what do you call it? Nautical? Is it the nautical?
Yes. Yes, it's like naval.
Okay. Yeah.
Nautical theme.
Well, I don't know if nautical is
shipping methodology. Shipping methodology. Or boating.
Thank you. The methodology. So the metaphors are it makes such deep, strong concepts. You can relate to it. You can understand it. You can take it in. And it is consistent from beginning to end. So we don't start talking about metaphors about boats at the beginning, and then we end at airplanes, and then we end at houses, and we are consistent. It's consistent, so you can understand. When your ship is at the harbor, when it is being held down by anchors, and when you're shipping out, which we are doing now excitedly.
Voyage.
This is a tribe. Okay, this is a tribe. This is a culture. This is a movement.
I love it. I love it.
And I bless God every day. That Coach T answered this call. Not everybody will have a vision like this and run with it.
Love it. Oh my gosh, Temitope, tell me, because I know that you've done programs. So this isn't, I'm not speaking to somebody that is new, blah, blah, blah. You've done programs. And I think for me, the day I saw you appear in class from your labor bed, like literally, Temitope had just had a baby and she still said she would be in class. And I'm like, this is somebody that has been doing programs. What are we saying? And there are replays, oh, it's not like there's no replay. But what was it about it that made you feel like, I cannot miss? And how does it compare to, someone I may listen to that have done programs now, it's not a big deal. How does it compare, in your own opinion, for somebody who has done so many, self-development courses? Why were you so why are you so into this one?
Wow, that's huge. What makes this different? A lot. Where do I start from? Okay, so from the affirmations, I am committed. So that's one thing big I learned from you, and it's further reinforced in VGAP. Secondly, like I said at the beginning, anytime I'm in the program, there's this transformation that happens. The very first class about anchors and giving meaning, it's the transformation that I experienced in that class. I can literally say I am still reaping the fruits from it. By the time I had my first daughter, I went through postpartum depression. By the time I had my baby in that hospital, it's so amazing how different it was.
Your second baby this time.
Yes, my second baby. Yes, my bigger baby.
Yes.
My bigger baby. Because you could see the difference. Why? Because I have been armed and I could see the real life application. It was not just, no, it was real. If you watch the replay, you could see the joy in my face. You could see how lighted up I was. I didn't have that when I had my first baby. So that one is just practical testimony that you can see when you also come on board. Secondly, there's this personalized impact, or there's this personalized value that you give to every individual during the calls. I have not seen that anywhere. Coach T literally picks each person and allows us to express our learnings, express our hearts, and express that transformation out there, and claiming the reality that we really need to step into. That alone is awesome for me. And finally, the tribe, just like Oyinwa said, the culture is amazing. Learning from other people's experiences and how they have utilized what they have learned is something that you won't get anywhere else. Because everyone else will attend other programs, go with their learnings and their applications, but don't get to share. But here, for each section, not even the entire class, for each section of our learning, we are able to hear each other's interpretations of it. So you're not just learning from Coach T, you're learning from Oyinua, you're learning from Ruth, you're learning from Amina, you're learning from everyone. So you are getting much more value than what Coach T even promised to give you. So you don't want to miss class. You don't want to miss that transformation, because you don't know what Oyinwa will say that would help your next situation. I didn't have issues even afterwards, because I was able to give the right meanings to the situations around me. And anything anyone does after post delivery, I'll just laugh. And they were amazed. How would you just laugh? How would you just handle things like this? And I'm like, I've changed. Even my sister could relate with the transformation that had happened. I can say it's awesome. Let me just pause there. So basically, that's the drive that I've gotten from VGAP.
Amazing. So I think I love the word that you just ended with, the way you just say, transformation. That's what I've gotten from VGAP. I want you to talk about that transformation, Millicent, because you come in as one thing, and this is the thing, you think, you're coming to learn one thing and everyone is coming to learn to be one thing, but you are transforming into your own self, the best version that you can be. right? What is that process? What has that process been like for you, Millicent? You came in, it's like a sausage factory. You come in on one end as this, and then you come out, and it's like all these accolades that you didn't have before. You're just like, I'm this now, I'm that now. And what is that? What's that been like for you? This system of just knowing, entering and evolving into a deeper dimension. How did that carry through the modules for you, and what was that process of coming into your new self? Because I know we've been, what, let's use the word for them, voyaging, because they'll be like, they won't know what it is, but this is part of our inner lingo, babies. What's some process of transformation even through the voyages for you? Let me ask in a more succinct way.
Okay. As for me, I want to first of all start talking about Coach Tombra's personality. I've met a lot of people, both in ministry, both as coaches. I've done other courses also. But there's something that draws me closer to a person, that person's personality. No matter how much you carry, if your personality is not what I'm looking for, I will run away. No matter how much value you carry, I will run away. So, after that mind reset, that's life
The
reset
life reset.
masterclass,
Mhm.
I saw a personality that I want to know more about.
Mm.
Then I'm this kind of person that anytime I find a comfort zone, I cling to it. I'm that clingy kind of a person. I'll be so scared to lose touch with that kind of person. So growing up, I grew up in a kind of environment that has been so hostile. My mom was so harsh. Small thing she would shout at you, she would say so many negative things. So that kind of brought down my self-esteem. So even when I have something valid to say, I cannot say it because I'm scared that I'll be shouted at. But Coach T's personality now changed the whole thing for me. When you are talking to us. I remember one time when I was having a one-on-one conversation with you, you said you are talking to the queen in us, not our
Mm.
weaknesses, but the queen in us. Wow. I said, now this is where I need the transformation that I really, really need. Now, I started getting scared. I said, if VGAP ends now, how will I do? Will I go back to the same lifestyle I were before? Honestly, that fear was too much on me. As in, I felt, after VGAP, what next? Am I going back to that same, that bitter experience again? But there's something you did to me. You taught me how to grow and be on my own. That I don't need to cling on anybody. That kind of, you are clinging out of fear, not because you are looking for something. You are clinging to people out of fear because you are scared of doing it yourself. You are scared of being alone. So you totally transformed that aspect of me. You gave me my own name. I discovered that yes, I have my own name. I discovered that yes, I have something that is inside of me also that I can give out there, that I don't need to cling to somebody out of fear. So for me, that's just the transformation. I remember one of the points you made. You said, "Whatever I come to collect is what I will receive." I personalize everything you say. When it I write it as so you said, "Whatever I come to collect is what I will receive," and that's what I wrote. I said, "Okay, what am I really in this VGAP for? Am I there as one of the other courses I've attended? Why am I here?" I discovered I needed the transformation, and I got it. I got it, and I own it that I'm a transformed person. So I'm
I
super
love
excited.
it. I
I'm
love
super
it.
excited.
Oh my gosh. Great, great, great. So I want to just kind of ask you guys now, where, at the end of VGAP, pretty much, what are you guys doing now that you weren't doing before? Right? As a result, that we can say, okay, now it's like, hey, let's talk about this. Oh, I'm going to start from you this time. Like, what are you doing now that you weren't doing 12 weeks ago, or you didn't have 12 weeks ago?
can imagine somebody that actually went to school to say, I am an IT consultant, and went to pin inside one job and felt or hid under multiple anchors and didn't step out as herself. Actually stumbled on something I wrote down. You know, when you're going to school and you are applying, they ask you in the UK to write a supporting letter. Why do you want this course? I was applying to go and study information technology and business management. I said I wanted to solve problems and help people solve real problems with technology.
Wow.
As far back as 2007.
Wow. And you were not, wow, that's mind-blowing.
Long story short, my IT consultancy, Fumology, is incorporated. And my website is launching in a few days. Ready to serve.
Wow.
And we will be launching profiles on all the major freelancing platforms for more visibility. And then once all of the service, platforms are set up, you will see us a lot more on social, evangelizing the different ways in which technology can simplify and solve and can help. But there is a purpose angle to it. It's not just about, okay, you're coming up as an IT consultant. Ultimately, we work and there'll always be work, but there are real problems in society that are dear to each and every one of our hearts. And for me, I've just always been very, very unsettled when you have young people in society who don't have access to opportunity to earn money and become independent. I come from the Niger Delta, and I was fortunate to be able to spend the last 6+ years in that region, and it just breaks my heart to see the number of young people, young families not able to stand because no source of income that is tangible. Meanwhile, you are all brilliant, you are all able-bodied, you are all capable. So the purpose angle is to, through Fumology, empower people with the skills and give them access to the opportunities that can help them earn from anywhere in the world.
Wow. And so this transformation,
that is the big scary one. If I tell you the roadmap is outrageous, but as former me was absolutely terrified of it, so much so that I in fact I was befriending my excuses. Now VGAP has VGAP has exposed me.
I was befriending my excuses. That's epic.
There's nowhere to hide again.
Wow, that's amazing. Literally,
so now I'm on the journey, and I'm excited to just be putting one foot in front of the other. That's it. That's me.
I love it. I love it. Amina, please give us your testimony, girl. What are you doing now that you weren't doing before, and then you came on VGAP and you're like, yeah, this is plausible. I can do this. I got this.
Oh, good. So it was, like I said in the beginning, knowing there's so much you carry, knowing you have a whole lot. In short, I practically told a close friend that I'm tired of hearing you have the potential. I was tired of hearing potential. I was like, when will this potential materialize into something that I've dreamt of for the longest of time? So VGAP gave me that. VGAP made me see, and it's a process. I just want everybody who is coming on this to know that it's a process. You're in class, you're awesome. Sometimes you're slapped by Coach T's words. Sometimes, people's experiences and all of that. But when you go back, that was when my own journey usually began. Because I now have to go back to the replays and see how it affects, how it really relates, to my present situation. And that was when I discovered that Coach T now. Coach T will tell you this thing stuck that whatever it is someone is saying about you, why it's affecting you so much is because there's a part of you that is agreeing with it. How? Like, how can you tell me? I'm telling you, that's self-sabotage, because I'm telling you that I want to be this, and I'm saying, okay, well, it's because of what this person is, blah, 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 blah. But why is it getting to me so much? Because there's a part of me that is agreeing with what is being said. So I had to throw out all of those Coach T calls it pity party. Something I had to learn, and it's a journey. I had to learn to, okay, so you, madam, sit down here, what's going on with you? And then gradually, you know how whatever it is you focus on expands, and the timing was so, honestly, I would say what I'm doing now found me. I'm always saying it, but I pray one day I'm going to be so deep into it such that I'll be really proud to say this thing found me. Yes, because it wasn't what I really wanted to go into initially. But I always known, I've always known, I've been drawn to, like, I'll tell myself, God didn't give you 4 boys for just like nothing. And I am so observant about, I don't know if it was just having them. I don't even know when it really started. I can't really pinpoint it. Maybe started to see them grow and hearing all of this, masculine toxicity and, deadbeat dads and all of that. And I'm like, what am I going to tell these boys tomorrow that, okay, mama couldn't own her voice, I'm sorry, I'll tell their wives that I just tried, but you can take over from where she, so all of those things kept me up at night. And I'm finally having the courage to step out of my fear and everything and help moms to just be the best things that their sons need them to be. And I think my life's work is done when I can do that, because that is core in making the next generation of men, to be who God initially wants, and God's purpose for them. Because no matter how many times you say the world is female, that's so not true. The world can't be female, because no gender can do without the other. So how can these men step up? How can these men step up so they take their initial place, what God wants them to be? So we're in it for the long haul.
Guys, you're hearing miracles upon miracles, from not being able to step out to not being able to stop speaking. Are you guys seeing what's going on here? We're dragging the mic. We're saying it's okay. But she's like, no, I still want to tell you about my vision. I still want to tell you about what I want to do in the world. Like, this is incredible. So you're starting a podcast. Tell us, what's your podcast called? Because my people are going to look out for it.
That's my baby. And sorry, because whenever I look at my sons now, I just see see them growing into people who will hold spaces for one another. I tell them, I want to live with you. Like, when I'm gone, you guys should be fine. You guys have to be together. You guys should be fine. And it doesn't happen by just one neglecting them. It doesn't happen by instructing them. It happens by just being like them. Let them be able to see themselves in you. The good, the bad, and everything in between. And so sometimes it feels like, okay, are you taking mommy for granted right now? But it's okay. They're still small. We are that frontal lobe that isn't developed that they need. So we are, that's practically our work now. So I'm happy to be that. I'm happy to be able to, guide them with as much love so that when they get out there and the world throws different things at them, all they will remember the love that their mom gave them, and all other boys out there who deserve the love that they need. Yeah.
I love it. What is your podcast called, sister? What is your podcast? So people can find you, man. Drop that link.
Nurturing the Boy Child podcast. It's Nurturing the Boy Child podcast. Yeah.
Amina didn't have clarity as to what she was going to do when she started VGAP. And now you hear the passion that is coming through. You hear? And now she's launching a podcast at the end of this week, or probably beginning of next week, Nurturing the Boy Child, and it's just incredible. Ruth, tell us, what's your VGAP testimony, girl?
Okay, so my testimony is, first of all, I'm going to say something that is very it sounds common, but it wasn't common to me. First of all, if I am in a gathering like this and I'm asked to introduce myself, I immediately begin to shake, like I'm scared. I feel like I don't have anything. I'm a graduate. I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. But somehow, for some reasons, whenever I'm in a gathering like this, I just get scared. I'm embarrassed of the fact that I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm also doing some other things on this side, but I just feel like I don't have anything to say. Shame and embarrassment, that was taken care of. That was one. I say it with pride now. Like if I have to introduce myself, my name is Ruth Annie. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I say it. I'm not looking at anybody's face. If it's easy, me you can do it. That kind of thing. So
I love it.
So that's one. That's one transformation. Secondly, I find myself writing. I am, my Voyage is to write an ebook, which in my wildest dream I never thought I could do. I didn't see that one of the things I could add to my that I'm writing. How, for where, how are you going to do that? But that's one of the things I did. And one of the things that pushed me into it was coach telling me I've forgotten that exact word she used. That
your blessing
not in the harbor.
Yes,
it's not in the harbor. It's in the sea. It's on the high sea. Go and get it. Don't wait till when you are very good. As long as you have something that somebody does, that someone needs. I always. There's something she said about me that I knew was very true. She said I always self-criticize a lot. I'm very good at. I don't spare myself, and that has kind of been a limit. It has become a limitation for me because it was maybe supposed to be something that should have helped me, but it became a limitation for me. And I watched that too. I celebrate my little wins now. Celebrate my little wins. I appreciate myself. I look at myself and I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful for my journeys. So recently I began to appreciate every single difficulty I've experienced. Every single one. I'm like, there's a reason. As it is now, I'm seeing things with I have different perception about a lot of things about me now. So basically I just say I'm a different person from where I started from. One that I'm writing an ebook now that I'm going to launch by the end of the Voyage, and the fact that I am confident of myself. I'm more confident of myself. I'm more confident of who I am. I'm more confident of my journey. I celebrate my wins. That's just my testimony.
Hallelujah. We're in church, people. I hope that you are dancing and praising God because we are in church. Tammy T, tell us, baby girl. We know what your big testimony is. We've got a baby. You've already told us you had baby number 2, healthy VGAP baby. Thank you for giving us a VGAP baby. And then obviously as well, you didn't have postnatal depression for the second time because you were sucking life out of VGAP. But what else? Is it, some people say, this is enough, but not Tammy T. Not Tammy T. So people say, have I not tried? All this one that I've done, is it not enough for me to just relax? I've tried. But no, you don't know Tammy T. Please give us your testimony.
Okay, so I am launching my website at the end of the Voyage, and I am doing it myself. So the fact
with a baby.
With a baby, and she was just 6 weeks, like 2 days ago, and I have been working on the website. I would stay up at night and make sure I do the tasks I'm meant to do, and it's been amazing. The stretch has been awesome, and the power rising has been like the energy booster. Like,
they will not understand. They won't get it. Just leave them. They won't get it. Just leave it.
They just need to come in so that they can get it.
They won't get it. Just leave it. It's okay.
They are missing though. They just have to come and You
They won't get
understand?
it. But
But
anyway, it's
they
good,
should watch
Sha, on
out
the
for the
inside.
Mother's Haven
Yeah.
website.
Give us the name of the website again.
Mother's Haven.
Yeah, Mother's Haven website. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Oh my God, you ladies are just making me proud. Anyhow, would you please give us your testimony? Give us your VGAP testimony.
Okay, ma'am. Let me start from my message. Yesterday, I didn't speak much about the message. In VGAP, it was from VGAP that I learned that for years I had been building my worthiness based on the things I had done. I was a straight A student, so I just tried to be so excellent at everything in my life. I had my life planned. I didn't have time for nonsense. Any distraction, it was not for me. So when things started going haywire, my self-confidence started shaking. I started saying, will I be able to achieve the things I've planned out? Will I be able to meet up with the expectations people had set up for me? And all those things were just crashing on my head. Like, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do it. I was not worthy for any of those things I wanted. I was not worthy, because if I was worthy, then I would have still been prospering.
Oh wow.
Then coach came in the first class, and the first of the 12 agreement was, I am worthy. Ha! That one, like, everything just started crumbling. I said, oh my God. How? Are you? So I never knew that my worthiness was not depending on any of these things. So I kept saying that particular one again and again. And when I've thought that, okay, yes, now I know I'm worthy, something else will come up, and I'll be like, I'm not worthy again. And I was sabotaging a lot of relationships, destiny relationships in my life, sabotaging a lot of, like, what I want to come on a platter of gold, and I'll be like, no,
I can't do it.
Wow. I'll just sit down and visualize, because naturally I meditate a lot. Like, it came easily for me. So when the voyage, when meditation was put in the voyage, I was like,
they won't
thank
understand.
God.
Don't worry. They won't understand. They won't understand. But continue, Sha.
So I would meditate and have these big dreams and vision, but then when I'm about to approach it, that unworthiness will come.
Hey.
But then I'll not be like, I am worthy. So presently, I now know, and I hug, like, I embrace all my dreams, and they are rushing at me like, come, this girl, I've been waiting for you since. Yeah. So now so many things are coming. So all of them are just, and I'm like, yes, come on. Come, I'm going to do all of you. I'm going to do every single one of you. And my pain was my message, actually. Was my message, because I began to ask questions. I began to ask questions like, what is the true blueprint for success without stereotypes? Because I saw that this was my problem over the years. And then I found out that everybody's story was different. And that was part of the reason I started Behind the Victories podcast. Because to share a wide variety of stories.
Behind the Victories podcast out already. Hallelujah. Yeah. Go on.
So to share a wide variety of stories, you can learn different things from different people. There is no specific there is no stereotype you must follow for your own success. You're different, and so your own path is different. So your own path is different. So my message is to help people find their own paths, giving them they already laid down principles. Then you can use those as a pivot to navigate your own path. So you won't go and start following somebody else's
dream,
somebody else's success story, and then you'll be like, oh, this happened to this person, it must happen to me. This happened to this person, it must happen to me. It affected me so much that I thought that the way somebody else failed was the way I was going to fail. And then I started having so many deep fears that I never knew was in them. So when I saw that somebody I looked up to, her mom died, I'll be like, oh, my mom died. It was that bad. That's bad. But
so you have your podcast.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then I know you have a big one. You're just making us wait for it.
Yes. I have my book coming up.
Wow.
And it's about social media conduct. Social media. It's not a step by step, like you must do this, you must do that, you must do this, you must do that. It's just principles, life principles that have worked over the years.
And this you did not have before VGAP. This is, guys, I want you to be dramatic about this thing. I came in, I was blind, and now I see.
And now I never had this before. I never even saw myself writing this book. This evening, somebody chatted me up and told me to submit an article for their magazine, and I was like, this transformation is coming so fast. Everything is just rushing at me. I'm like, oh my god, this is VGAP. This is the work of VGAP.
I love it. So we have a book.
VGAP is planning every single thing.
Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Okay, Millie, let's hear from you. We're going to close shortly, but Millie, let's hear from you. Or Millie's this thing. So, guys, I want to hear one sentence. This one we have to make it really brief because we're just wrapping up now. I want you guys to say one sentence. Why do women need this? Why is this important? Why should anyone sign up to be at the webinar? Why should anybody do VGAP? Just try and summarize it. Maximum 2 sentences. I know you guys have a lot to say. I know. But why do people need VGAP? Oyinua, start.
2 sentences. Because you can't afford to live up till the end of your life and carry everything that you came with back. And because the world, your own world, the people that you were sent here to support are waiting on what you're carrying. They need you. And if you don't deliver that, they will be affected. So I'll leave it there.
I love it. And why is VGAP the solution to that? So say why do people need it, and why VGAP? Yeah.
It's because when you do this, you don't need anything. You don't need a top up. You don't need a supplement. You don't need, everything is here. I have been through countless courses, books. I have audiobook subscriptions. I can tell you the information is in piecemeal out there, and nobody makes this much sense of it in a way that is actionable for your life. That's why you need VGAP, because not only will you come, you will hear, you will do the inner work to get you ready, but you will go ahead and voyage. I know you don't understand that now. But you will come out with tangible results. Is the point.
Results. I love it. Love it. Thank you so much. Amina. In fact, wait, before Amina speaks, Temitope is already so Temitope, just speak.
I was I was already entering what Oyinwa said. Like I could relate with
Mm-hmm.
that word result, that obvious tangible result, because you cannot afford to remain the same. That's my one sentence for you. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
afford to keep operating at the same frequency. You cannot afford. I already more than one sentence. Let's put comma. You cannot afford to keep embracing your excuses. You cannot
Semicolon.
afford semicolon. You cannot afford to keep sinking in your limitations and your barriers. You have to rise, and VGAB is what helps you to do that. You have to sail, and
Mm,
you have to get to that tangible result.
I
Full
love
stop.
it. Hallelujah. Amina, why does every woman need, not just any woman, let's not even be presumptuous. Why does any woman need VGAP? And what is that solution that it will give them?
No words, no words, no words, no words. But all that is coming to my head is trauma solution to trauma. Like, and I'm not talking of just childhood. At different points in our lives, we're hit with different. It comes in different ways and different forms. And you can take that trauma you went through, literally on your own, rewrite your story, and make something beautiful out of it. That's all. That's all. And you will
Hmm.
live that beautiful story. You will
Hmm.
live that because Coach C will empower you with everything you need to live. So nothing bad happens to you in this world. You don't see anything that hits you as bad. Because,
Hmm.
and that's just what my religion preaches, that
Hmm.
whatever happens to you, it's good. There is
Hmm.
good in it. So Coach C just came and, showed you like actionably how these things that happen to you are good for you. So
Hmm.
trauma, rewrite your story and live your story. Full
Hmm.
stop. That's the sentence. That's what Amina says. It's a sentence.
I love
I get
it.
what you
I
say.
love it. I love it. Ruth, why does any woman need VGAP? And what are they going to get out of it?
Um, everyone needs vigor because we are always wanting to do, we are always wanting to have things. But I've come to realize that whatever you're going to do and have should come from your being. So vigor will help you be the original. It's like, for me, it looks like a surgical, a kind of surgery kind of thing, dissecting, going to the inner recess and bringing out things, recreating you, so that you are better able to do and have from a safe place, from a place of rest. You become. So anyone that wants to, whatever it is you want to do, whatever you want to acquire, you want to do things, because we are always doing as women. We want to do this, we want to do that, we want to have this, we want to have that. But your being is what will determine how sustainable whatever you can do or have can be. So Vika will help you be. We will rearrange the being for you. That's why I think everyone needs.
I love it. I love it. So, guys, we have tried tonight to condense what the ladies, I'm not calling it myself, I'm calling an experience that they don't have the words. They've struggled here. Oh, okay. Millicent, I haven't asked you yet. Millicent, what's your VGAP testimony very quickly? And then answer the question of why does any woman need VGAP? What would they get out of it? What's your VGAP testimony? What do you have now that you didn't have before?
So before VGAP, I always envisioned myself in failures, because of my past experiences. So every time when I'm about to start something, I feel if I start, I will fail. That's what I always see. If I start, I will fail. And it has always been like that. I will start a project, I will never finish it. It's always like that. But then in VGAP, Coach Tombra always say, what you have is always enough. What you have is always enough. So that thing sunk into my soul that if that fear comes in, I remember that what I have is always enough. And I now envision myself as that Moses, where He had nothing but just a filthy rod, just that filthy rod, and it was so enough for him to liberate the people. So I now begin to envision myself that I have my own weapon of liberation, and I have people that I need to use that rod for. I have my own weapon of liberation. So that creed, we is only VGAP that understand the creed with the E or without the E. So I mostly do without the E. So I did the E some few times. My body was so
Yeah, getting them lost more.
We have our lingo, they won't get it, but continue.
Yes. So I begin to envision myself in a way that, you know, if you are used to watching Chinese film, Jet Li, whenever if there's any mountain, if there's anything that is against you, just and just, you know, overcome it and all that. So no matter the rock, no matter the giant, me, I'm like that Jet Li. I'll just fly over it. So that's just it for me. I see the future is brighter. I see success in anything I lay my hands on. And that is just it. What I have is just enough for me.
I love it. What's your testimony? What do you have now that you didn't have before? What's your VGAP testimony?
Really, my podcast, really, the unbeatable mindset. That's my podcast. The unbeatable mindset. And of course, Temitope will design the website too. So we are good to go.
I love it. Guys, my heart is full. My heart is full. My heart is full. I just feel, just listening to you guys, and I'm just like, you've just shared the truth from your heart as it is in its original form. I didn't ask you to say anything. And look at how you guys are just speaking the lingo and just reeling out. This is now you. It's entered you. This is no longer something you learned. This is now something that you are doing, that you are. And that was the promise, actually, that I said. I said that VGAP will become who, like, you become the curriculum on VGAP. You literally become the curriculum. And I'm just so happy to just hear everything that you guys are saying. And I know that this is just the beginning, because you have taken the principles and you are, going to go out and become world changers. You'll become world changers. You get more people on your own boat. You teach them how to live, and they will go and do their own things. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being with me on this very first cohort of VGAP. I celebrate all of you. I'm here cheering you on as usual. And you guys are our founding cohort. Hey, founding cohort. This is the senior. You know, when you're in secondary school, they say senior this, senior. These are the seniors of VGAP. And these ladies, they don't want to go anywhere. They keep asking me, so what's next? I said, we are finished. We going. This is what's next. I said, we have finished. They don't want to hear. They don't
want
Oh yeah.
Alumni. We will form alumni of an alumni association.
We're going there.
Oh my God, I am so grateful to you guys, and thank you so much for such a rich conversation. It was so mind-blowing to me to just even partake of it, and I celebrate each one of you and what you're doing, and I can't wait to see the great strides that you guys will continue to go on to. I celebrate every one of you. Thank you so much for being here on the Creator for Me podcast. And I love all of you very deeply. So guys, before let me close this out properly. So we've said all of this to say that there is a webinar coming up on the 9th of October. If you've heard anything here that you like, and you are a little bit intrigued and curious, like, what are these people? These ladies, they're just speaking. Like, just come and find out yourself. Just come. In fact, it's a free webinar on the 9th of October. It's called the Life Reset webinar. You can go to tumblr.com/life reset. I'll put the details in the show notes. tumblr.com/life reset. And you can come and find out yourself. No strings attached. Just come and listen yourself. Right? And then you will hear more about the overarching program, which is the VGAP curriculum. But if you don't even do anything, just that webinar alone will give you value. So just come, it's free. Yeah, if you're a woman and you're listening to this and you want a better life, you want this 2022 to end in a most phenomenal way, you want to start 2023 on a new level, you've heard from all these ladies, then you want to be at the Life Reset webinar. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Love you guys
Thanks,
loads.
coach.
Thank you.
Love
Bye.
you
Thanks for
too.
having
Thank
us. Thank you,
you.
Coach.